It'll be Malik Hines to jump center for the Minutemen. Mike Amius, the JUCO transfer. He'll do the duties for the Catamounts. Ball is thrown into the air, and Amius wins the tip. We are glad you're with us here on a Tuesday night at Mullins on the UMass Sports Network and on the Atlantic 10's digital network. Josh Maurer, Adam Frenier. Buckle in here for the next couple of hours as UMass tries to go to 3-1. Into the corner they go, and driving the baseline is Gosselin for a pullback jumper that he made from about 15. That's the big guy, Gosselin. He swished it in to make it 2-0.
Yeah, he was able to create some space around the bigger Malik Hines.
So the Minutemen moving as we look at it, right to left, and they travel on a dribble handoff from Malik Hines, trying to get it to Rayshawn Miller. I guess he could give the turnover to either of those gentlemen. There was the handoff, and Hines didn't execute it perfectly, and Miller didn't either as he received the ball out.
Not at all. That was a little bit of a disorganized set there early on in this game.
So 40 seconds in, it's 2-0 to Catamounts. And driving again to his left, that's the senior Darius Parks. He's a good shooter. Back near the midcourt stripe, Devin Peterson, their senior point guard. He's guarded by Lawan Pipkins with 10 to shoot. Moving to his right side, the arc going up. He lost the ball out of bounds. It's an air ball. Might have been swiped away, or at least attempted to, by Lawan, but they say it's out of bounds off of Peterson.
Luan had those hands up high in the air, and Peterson was trying to get around him, and Luan wouldn't budge.
So it's still 2-0, 1 minute in. Catamounts in the lead. UMass looking for its first points. Malik Hines plays a lot as a big man out on the perimeter. Hands it off here to C.J. Anderson, and as he does, Malik crashes over the defender and is called for the offensive foul. He knocked over Mark Gosselin, the Frenchman.
Gosselin came up waving his left arm after that. I guess they're going to call that a moving screen. I was watching the ball off the play, but...
And they did say the foul was on C.J. Anderson, actually, and not on Malik Hines, who had handed the ball to C.J. And Anderson's going right to the bench, Adam. They take out the starting point guard just a minute plus in, and Carl Pierre quickly off the bench. Pierre gave a spark to the Minutemen coming in early against Niagara, and I think Coach McCall probably looking for similar. Backdoor cut here, and the baseline goes to Peterson from Amius. He caught it, is hip checked, banks it in anyway, count it. And a foul here for Devin Peterson, who snuck free on the left baseline. That was a nice backdoor play.
It was a great backdoor play, and it looked like he was already by the UMass defender, Pipkins, who's charged with the foul. Peterson was, and Pipkins got him almost as he was on his way down from laying the ball in. So not a smart foul there by Luan, and the three-point play is completed.
So 5-0 Western Carolina. Peterson, for a senior point guard, has just not shot well this year. 39% from the field, only 46% from the foul line. But he made the layup and the free throw. UMass trailing 5-0. 1 minute and a half in. Swinging around the perimeter, first touch, Carl Pierre is on the right wing behind the stripe. Top of the key, Malik Hines. He'll dribble through the paint, throws up a wild shot that hit only backboard, but is rebounded and put back up and in by Rashawn Holloway. It is 5-2. Beating the Minutemen down the court they go. Parks' pass goes underneath, and a foul as Mike Amius caught the ball and pump faked, and we'll see whether or not that was in the act of shooting. It's a foul against Holloway.
It'll be on the floor, Josh, but another transition opportunity for a UMass opponent. Niagara had a number of those over the course of the game on Sunday. Coach McCall talked about that with us afterwards, and it looked like Western Carolina certainly watched that tape because that was very similar.
Inbounds play, it's a violation called. Or, let's see.
It's a foul against Chris Baldwin, an arm bar.
Sean Hull the call against Baldwin, who had just checked into the game for the Minutemen. Baldwin came in to replace Rashawn Holloway, who had gotten the foul. 18-12 to go in the half, 5-2. Inbounds play underneath to Gosselin. Goes up in the paint, and Malik Hines blocked Gosselin. Rebound to UMass. Rayshawn Miller gets it up ahead to Pipkins. Pull up, left wing, three-point shot. That's no good. His first look after the career game Sunday is a miss. The rebound pulled down by Darius Parks, senior guard. 5-2, Western Carolina. Peterson, the point guard, drives on the baseline and is bumped into as he passed the ball and fouled by Malik Hines. And so that's going to give a fresh 30-second shot clock to the Catamounts.
The UMass fans not appreciating that call. That's already the 15th foul against the Minutemen. And there haven't been any called against Western Carolina.
Halverson gets a baseline lean and off the design inbounds play from the right side, and he switches it in from 14. Matt Halverson is a freshman, the leading scorer for Western, and it's 7-2 with 17-40 remaining in the first half. Minutemen looking to get some energy going as Rayshawn Miller goes against Halverson on the other end, left side. Big man Gosselin flashed out onto him. Force him to give it up to Pierre for a top-of-the-key three, and that's too strong. Offensive rebound by Malik Hines, though. Dish out to Pipkins for three. Then he swishes it in. On the second chance, Pipkins hits the triple, and it's 7-5.
He was hanging out just right at the top of the key, and Western Carolina crashed the boards and left Luan wide open for the second chance opportunity.
It's a Minutemen hit, and now the ball is knocked out of bounds. So on the pass intended for Peterson, Luan Pipkins over by the sideline tried to steal it and knocked it right into Dr. Jim Hunt. Sideline seats, team dentist. If you come to the Mullins Center, you always know where Dr. Hunt is sitting. Huh?
Absolutely.
15 to shoot. Western Carolina leading 7-5. They go to the baseline, and the shot is blocked by Carl Pierre out of bounds on a turnaround there by Darius Parks. And wow, Carl just blocked it right over the baseline, and that was quite a rejection for the guard.
Parks took forever to get that shot off, and Pierre just maintained his position, kept his arms straight up, and was able to knock that one away with ease. And now one of the officials talking to a couple of players from each team who are kind of engaged in a little bit of a scrum for position off the inbounds play. You know, Western Carolina trying to run a stack play where they bunch everybody together, and UMass not giving up any space.
Inbounds play goes to the left corner. They get a wide open Gosselin for three, and he swished it in. And now it is 10-5, and 5 of them from the big man out of France, Marc Gosselin. 10-5, and they have, just like Niagara did, taken very, very, very quick shots. Inside, Hines finds Baldwin on the right block. He's open. Baldwin caught it, banks it in off the bench. His first points. That makes it 10-7 with 16:35 left. Malik Hines, I said it, he plays a lot on the perimeter. The way this offense is designed, he's going to have to make those good entry passes. Gets the assist. Western Carolina's Mike Amius facing up on Hines outside the foul line, takes the long jumper, and Amius able to swish it in. It's 12-7. The Catamounts, they seem like they can't miss.
Amius lost his dribble too. I don't know if Hines is aware of that because he was off him a couple of steps when he attempted that shot.
They are 5 of 7. Deep three from Chris Baldwin from the left wing, goes up and hit it. On the feed from Pipkins, and Baldwin with 5 straight UMass points. 12-10, Catamounts under 16.
Minutemen now 4 out of 7 from the field.
That means they've hit their last 3 shots. Backdoor play, lob to Peterson. Whoa, what a catch. Under the rim, and Devin Peterson banks it in on the feed from Darius Parks, fellow senior. Another kind of backdoor play, and it's a 14-10 Catamounts lead. 15:30 to go in the first half. Pull up 3 around the Hines screen by Pipkins is no good from 24. Good box out by Amius, who grabs the rebound, and then he's fouled by Baldwin. And already that's 6 team fouls against UMass. We got a timeout on the floor.
Well, Coach McCall wasn't lying about 100 fouls being called in this game, Josh. It's been a lot already. There's been 6, and they're all against the Minutemen.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, Coach McCall's point is, well,
we talked about the foul situation going to break, Josh. UMass called for 6 already, and Western Carolina none. The good news is only Chris Baldwin has 2 fouls. The rest of the Minutemen have 1, those who have committed them. So at least not in any huge foul trouble with a bit of a short bench in the early going of this game.
And Baldwin has 5 of UMass's 10 points. Press midcourt after the token press beaten. Devin Peterson, the point guard, is cut off by Carl Pierre. In off the bench, Unique McLean at the timeout for UMass. Gosselin backing down. Fires to Amius. Now Halverson. Hand back at the foul line to the top of the key. Peterson for 3. And it's good. Devin Peterson already with 8 points. And it's 17-10. The largest lead for Western Carolina.
You know, he came into this game averaging 6.1 for his career.
They've got 5 straight. C.J. Anderson came back in at the timeout after got an early foul. He'll kick it to the top of the key for a Pipkins three-pointer. Spins around and drops in. Already a couple of triples for Pipkins. Picking up where he left off Sunday at 17-13 with 14:30 to go. Well, this is fun to watch. Each team seeing the ball go through the hoop with great regularity. And now Parks, Darius Parks, the redshirt senior, gets a hand back from the big man Amius, who rolls, gets the pass underneath. Amius missed the bunny off the glass from 1 foot. And a rebound by UMass, C.J. Anderson coming back, and a pass to the right baseline. McLean into the middle. McLean finds Malik Hines, who missed a 2-footer. Wide open. Rebound by Amius. Back the other way. Here come the Catamounts and into the front court. Halverson finding Gosselin, the big man, who throws it off the hands of Parks, who saved it by the sideline. 13:50 to go in the half, and now Peterson is bouncing to the middle. Amius caught it and lays it in, and it's 19-13. Amius from Peterson with 13:45 to go. The shooting percentages are huge. Here's a floater from the right baseline by Unique McLean from 6 feet on the drive, and his first shot goes in. He's been struggling to shoot the last couple. That was a nice attack to make it 19-15 at him.
UMass shooting 54.5%. Western Carolina 8 for 11 from the field, 72.7%. And 2 of those makes came from three-point land.
Inside they go to Amius again. He's got the smaller Anderson on him, but he passed out of it to the point guard who's high. The senior Devin Peterson against Malik Hines on a mismatch. Drives against him. Malik forced him to pass to Halverson. A right corner three is up and good. Halverson hits as the shot clock buzzer sounded. And the lead is back to 7, 22-15.
He dodged a flying McLean at him.
Back down the court come the Minutemen. Pipkins from the right wing, a pull-up, the three-pointer, good again. Lawan Pipkins' third early three, and it's 22-18 Western with 12:40 to go in the half. And he is 3 of 5 from beyond the arc. Western Carolina is 3 of 3 from behind the arc. After that last Halverson make, he'll try it again. On the feed from Gosselin, and a left wing three. Halverson missed it, shot it over the rim. Back come the Minutemen with Lawan Pipkins. To the front court, Pipkins is feeling it. He'll pass to Anderson, left wing. A pump fake, moves inside the arc. 15-footer, no good, but he was hit on the release. CJ was, and a foul. And the cheer you hear is because that's the first foul against Western Carolina just about 8 minutes in.
We're not in the Bronx, but it sure sounded like it by that cheer. Good patient effort there by Anderson, who took his time and was able to draw the contact after one Western Carolina defender came flying out at him. Peterson hit him with the body on the way up, so he'll have 2 foul shots.
C.J. Anderson looking to get into the score column. On the young season, he has shot 8 of 10 at the foul line. There are very few fans here, so when people are shooting free throws, it's almost like we're at a golf tournament. First free throw rolls in for C.J.
Doing your best Jim Nance or Pat Summerall, perhaps, at Augusta.
Yeah, I don't want to distract C.J. Anderson or any UMass free throw shooting.
Yeah, you don't want to be blamed for anything.
Nope. 22-19. Minutemen now with 4 straight. How about Pipkins, Adam, with those 3 threes? And it looks like he is in that same zone that we saw against the Purple Eagles. Both free throws go in for CJ, and it's 22-20. Still 12-16 to go in the half, and UMass sets up some press. Ball is inbounded to the new guard in the game, Desmond Johnson, a freshman. They get it across. Gosselin, who's played well, the big man, gets it into the corner for the red-hot Devin Peterson. Back to Gosselin, outside the foul line. Gosselin missed the jumper, and a rebound by C.J. Anderson. Anderson coming back right to left, all the way to the rim. Fouled, put it up, no good. But he's going to the line again. C.J.'s second trip to the charity stripe when we come back.
Heck of an effort by C.J. He got bumped all the way up the court, was able to create some space using his speed, and finally got the call as he went right to the basket.
Timeout with UMass on the...
Help yourself out however you can.
C.J. Anderson just hit a couple of them a moment ago, now right back to the line, and he misses short on the first.
Put the whammy on him, didn't I?
You'll learn. UMass can cut it down to 1. They are on a 5-0 run. And now it bounces in to make it 6 straight for UMass. Minutemen have hit 6 of their last 8 field goal attempts after starting just 1 out of 4. Western made 9 of its first 12 shots, and now they've missed 2 straight.
UMass certainly trying to force the pace of this game, too, coming out challenging some of the passes in the perimeter and running when they get the ball.
Going to have a foul on a screen set by Western Carolina, and that's the new big man of the game, Adam Sled, who was caught by Ray Steins, the official, who's setting a back screen right about the foul line.
And I could hear Matt McCall at one point during this half yelling, looking for that call. And Western Carolina sits a lot of screens to get those backdoor plays running for them from down the baseline, and Sled got caught downhill sledding his man that time.
They've got all these big bodies. We've seen Amius and Gosselin, the starting bigs. Now you've got Sled. We'll see Ano Steger. Those are a couple of sophomores.
They're tall. Sorry, Josh.
Trailing 22-21, Adam.
They're tall, but they're not real thick big bodies for Western Carolina.
11:25 to go in the half. UMass looking for the lead. Rayshawn Miller back into the backcourt with Pipkins and McLean. Here is Pipkins with 5 to shoot. Had it poked away back near midcourt. 3 to shoot. He retrieves. Pulls up from 35. Shot is no good. And then Holloway A foul over the back of Gosselin. And now that's a 1-and-1 coming up. 17 fouls against UMass.
And Holloway will get called for his fair share of those just for being big. He might have leaned on the defender a little bit that was boxing him out and had inside position, but not a good position to be in with 11-12 to go in the first half. It looked like he might have pushed off with his offhand a little bit, but certainly when you're as big as Rashawn is, you're going to get caught sometimes just for being big in the paint.
And I said he fouled the starting big Gosselin. It was actually Adam Sled whom he pushed. Sled, guy doesn't score much. He's only 1 of 4 at the foul line all year. What do you know? He makes the front end, and now it's 23-21. 11-12 to go in the half.
A Western Carolina team that does not do well from the charity stripe. They are about 55% coming into tonight's game.
Sled misses the second, true to the percentages. And a foul against the Catamounts on the loose ball as I believe it was Gosselin pushing Malik Hines. Yes, it was. Mark Gosselin. You know, whenever I say that, I keep thinking I'm going to say Mark Paul Gosseler.
Saved by the bell.
Hopefully he won't be tonight. If you're UMass. Gosselin, the Frenchman, gets the personal, his first. UMass brings it across, trailing 23-21. 11 minutes to go in the half. Pipkins, nice crossover dribble to the foul line. Dishes out the pass to Anderson for a left wing three. CJ left it short. Rebound plucked away by the freshman guard. It's Desmond Johnson. Johnson brings it across and finds Devin Peterson, who got cut off by Rashawn Miller just inside the arc. Picked up the ball, though, pulls up for a three, and Peterson missed it. Chased his own miss, got it back, banks it up and in. Peterson makes it 25-21 Catamounts, and he is into double figures with 10 points.
You hear a lot of coaches say it, follow your shot, and that's exactly what he did.
Pipkins around a screen set by C.J. Anderson. Passes back to the top. Pick and roll. C.J. never rolled. Caught the pass 25 feet away. And now Hines underneath. Finds C.J. Anderson cutting through. Had it blocked going up. Gosselin was in there. Also the freshman Johnson. They blocked the ball away from a layup attempt for C.J. Anderson to grab the ball. There come the Catamounts into the posted Sled. Ducking under. Sled passes across the court. Somehow it got to Habubakar Mutombo, who's in. Back to the top of the key, and now Johnson, the freshman guard, almost lost it, but got it back. Desmond Johnson driving in, and an offensive foul on Desmond Johnson. He knocked over Lawan Pipkins on the baseline.
Yeah, it was away from the play. Pipkins had baseline position and took the charge. The ball was right next to him. Good job of defense away from the ball as Western Carolina player Johnson came in and lost the ball on his way up and took him out.
Good call. We watched the replay. Yes. You just saw on that Atlantic 10 Digital Network feed, and definitely Pipkins had his defensive position established. 25-21, Catamounts. We are just over midway through the first half. Game that Western Carolina's led a couple of times by 7 points. UMass with Hines up is the only big man with 4 guards. Anderson, Pipkins, Pierre, Miller. Pierre is open from the right wing, and Carl missed the three. UMass going cold here in this stretch. Rebound tipped and grabbed by Desmond Johnson, freshman guard out of Memphis. Catamounts coming back from our left to right in the purple. Johnson to the high post. Adam Sled at the foul line faces up against Hines and passes over to Darius Parks. Rashawn Miller's all over Parks, who has to give it up. New man Maurice Smith, sophomore guard, passes back now to Johnson driving through the lane. High arcing bank, and he got it. Desmond Johnson. What a shot. 27-21, the Catamounts at the 9-minute mark.
Johnson's 5'11", but not afraid to go inside.
Malik Hines again, top of the key. Pulling out the big man Sled. Rashawn Miller over to Anderson for a three-point shot. That's no good. Rebounded offensively, though, by Malik Hines. Off of CJ's miss. He still has not made a three-pointer yet this season. After a couple of misses tonight. Minutemen have it, trailing by 6. Pipkins on the right wing, a jab step drive. The double team comes. He passes over to Anderson. Now to the left corner, Pierre, a catch and shoot. Carl's three is good. Carl Pierre with a triple, ending a 5-0 Western Carolina run. He was great on Sunday, and Pierre his first make today, 27-24.
Wide open in the left corner, had plenty of space. Took a nice high jump shot.
Johnson spinning around Pipkins, almost stole it from behind, did Lawan, but Desmond Johnson kept the ball, but he goes in. Malik Hines blocks his shot, and he blocked it right off of the arm of Johnson before it went out of bounds, so it goes over to UMass.
There was some daylight for Johnson coming right down the middle, and the ball got swatted away, and on the other side, Western Carolina missed a switch, and that left Pierre wide open in the corner.
So UMass, trailing by 3, gets it back. C.J. Anderson, who has started 0 for 3 from the field tonight, is going to the bench. That'll move LaJuan Pipkins over to the point guard spot. Kalea Turner-Morris, freshman out of New Orleans, getting some early run. He comes on for Matt McCall. On the front line, he joins Malik Hines. Inside to Turner-Morris from Hines. A duck under move. Got him in, but he missed it. Rebound Morris, though. Turner-Morris fouled going back up. They'll get a couple of free throws when we come back. He made a really pretty move to get the first shot that he missed. And then, Adam, he just stuck right with it.
He had his back to the basket, a spinning pivot move, went up and under on the defender, missed, but wasn't afraid to go right back at it and was fouled, and he'll have 2 when we return.
7:48 to go first half. The Catamounts 27, massive after Thanksgiving. Play at noon on Friday against 14th ranked Minnesota. Then BYU at the Barclays Center Saturday at 2:30. Kalea Turner-Morris makes a free throw. He had his first career bucket right during garbage time of that Niagara win. Came in, got a basket and foul, and here getting some early run. This guy, as we've talked about, he looks the part. Big body, makes them both. He's physical, but pretty adept footwork as we saw in the move that ended up allowing him to get to the free throw line. Ultimately made them both, and it's 27-26.
And if he could develop into a player who can give Matt McCall even 10, 12 minutes a game, at least in the near future, that'll add to the UMass depth.
Western Carolina going inside here. Going to the post is Abubakar Mutombo, and he missed the shot. Rebound, got it back and banked it in. Mutombo is, by the way, the nephew of the great Dikembe Mutombo.
He played his prep ball at Notre Dame Prep in north central Massachusetts in Fitchburg.
Originally from Ontario, Canada, 29-26 Catamounts, 7:10 to go first half. Rayshawn Miller off his career game Sunday has been quiet. LaJuan Pipkins has made 3 threes. Carl Pierre gets the handoff from him on the perimeter. Now to Malik Hines, top of the key, passes over to the left wing. Pipkins 5 to shoot. Crossing over Halverson, got into the lane, tried to feed it over to Turner-Morris, got batted back into his hands, and then Pipkins had the shot blocked and rebounded by Halverson, who goes all the way, flying into the lane. He was out of control and lost the ball going up. Rebound to UMass. Pipkins down the court to Pierre for a 15-footer. Got it! Carl Pierre on a wild sequence ends up hitting his second bucket, 29-28.
Larry Hunter was very upset that there wasn't a blocking foul call, but I think that was a good no call. Looked like his player Halverson was out of control going to the basket.
Pipkins knocking the ball away from Darius Parks right over near us on the sideline, but Parks went back to retrieve before it went out. Now Parks gets a backdoor cut for the new big man in the game, Charlendez Brooks, and UMass has to foul Darius Parks to prevent the layup. They'll get 2.
Malik Hines called for the foul, and it looked like the Western Carolina player Parks was already almost behind the basket, just trying to save the ball, losing control going to the basket, and he was fouled. So a little bit of a bailout call there against the Minutemen.
First free throw for Parks, rolls off the rim, no good.
2 fouls now on Malik Hines.
Malik's got a couple for UMass. Rashawn Holloway has a couple. That's why he's been out. Chris Baldwin also with 2 fouls. Minutemen have 8 total as a team.
C.J. Anderson's going to spell Hines. Here comes Baldwin with the 2 fouls off the bench. Kalea Turner-Morris, Josh, had a good couple of minutes there.
He's going to go to the bench in favor of Baldwin. And I should tell you that Gosselin's been out recently, which is why guys like Sled and now Charlendez Brooks, big guys for Coach Hunter. It's because Gosselin's got 2 fouls himself. So as Coach McCall predicted, this is a game with a lot of whistles. Foul trouble becoming part of the story. Second free throw does go in, so 1 for 2 for Darius Parks. It's his first point of the game. It's 30-28 the Catamounts. We still have 6:15 to go in the half. 6 fouls against Western Carolina, again 8 against UMass. Baldwin, top of the key. They leave him open, so he does shoot the 3, and he rattles it in. And he's hit 2 triples in the first half. Chris Baldwin leading the way just about for UMass. 31-30, they lead it.
And there was nobody within 5 feet of him either.
Baldwin having a big half off the bench. Amius back in, starting big man. Drives and dishes, tried to throw it across the lane. It was stolen away by Pipkins. Up to the front court with UMass up by 1. And now Western Carolina back on defense, so UMass backs it out after the Pipkins steal. It's a 3 by Pierre from the left corner that's no good. A long rebound out to Darius Parks for the Catamounts, coming back left to right. Ano Steger's in for the first time. He passes over, and Maurice Smith, the backup guard, lost the ball on a pass. Stolen away off the floor by Baldwin. Up by one, up ahead to Pipkins. A pull-up three from the left is no good, but a beautiful back tap by Baldwin right out near midcourt. Pipkins saves possession with 5 minutes, 5 seconds to go in the half.
Minutemen trying to settle this down and get a good possession after about 45 seconds of helter-skelter basketball.
UMass on a 10-3 run. Capped off by that last Baldwin three. Trying to extend it. Baldwin at the top for Miller. A three again. That one is just a little bit strong, and it hits the rim. Baldwin's shot bounces up over the top of the backboard. Not out of bounds.
Not a bad look, though. He was wide open again, top of the key. It looks like Western Carolina has gone into a zone, and they're not really challenging the perimeter at this point.
Juan Pipkins gets a breather. I mentioned that Baldwin's been pretty much leading UMass, although I do shortchange Pipkins, who's hit 3 threes out of 7 attempts. He's got 9. Baldwin 8.
Western Carolina's already used 11 players here in the first 15 minutes of the half. Now we have a question about what players should be in. I don't know if somebody subbed in and tried to sub back, or subbed out of the game and tried to sub back in before time running off, which is a rule.
Coach Hunter is going to do, he's going to bring back in his starting big man, Mark Gosselin, even with the 2 fouls.
I think that's what happened. If you come out of the game, you can't come back in until the clock's been in motion for 1 second.
So Gosselin in there on the front line with Charlindez Brooks. Western Carolina ball trailing by 1. 4:30 to go in the half, and here is Gosselin immediately. Picked up by C.J. Anderson. Pass to the right corner, a three-pointer. Doris Parks, no good. Crashing to grab the rebound is Baldwin, and he's hit across the arm. 88 feet from the basket and fouled, and he'll get a 1-and-1. That is 7 against the Catamounts in the half.
Minutemen 5 out of 6 in the first half, and watching Baldwin playing from the foul line, I should say, watching Baldwin playing with the 2 foul shots, doing a good job of keeping his hands up, staying vertical, not taking any chances of picking up that third, but still being as aggressive as he can, really keeping his body under control.
2 for 2 on the year at the foul line is Baldwin. This is a 1-and-1 with his team up 31-30. Front end is up and good. He's got a chance to get to double figures, and to put that in perspective, over the first 3 games of the year, Chris Baldwin only had a total of 13 points. 5 field goals in the Lowell, Harvard, and Niagara games combined. He's already hit 3 field goals here in the half. This is a Springfield native. Came back. One of the few guys who stayed through the coaching transition. Second shot rolls in, and it's 33-30 UMass. So the Minutemen on a 12-3 stretch to turn the deficit into an advantage here. And on the full court press, Unique McLean knocks the ball away from Doris Parks. Parks got it back, though, gets it to the front court. Driving the baseline is Ano Steger, and he traveled before he made the layup. Got inside. Baldwin was there to meet him, and that made Ano Steger think an extra second about it, and that forced him to take that step.
Looked like there's a couple extra steps there. Steger didn't know what to do going to the baseline when number 5 in white and maroon got in his way.
Chris Baldwin has the last 5 UMass points. Ball knocked into the backcourt here by Peterson, the starting point guard, back in for Coach Hunter.
He's already at his career high for points, which is 10.
Under 4 minutes to go in the half. UMass tries to extend the run. Pierre pass to Baldwin, left corner, out on the perimeter. Baldwin now backing down his defender Brooks. Pass to the middle, Anderson caught it in the lane, goes up and scores. That time Baldwin got the assist. C.J. Anderson's first field goal, and it's 35-30 the Minutemen with 3:40 to go in the half. Well, that was beautiful by Baldwin again. Across midcourt, Doris Parks pulls up. Top of the key, three-pointer. That's way strong. Rebound tipped underneath. Baldwin. No, beg your pardon. That's grabbed by Pierre. Pierre gets it up ahead, and here's Anderson on the trail to Pierre, top of the key. Pierre gliding through the lane. As he gets to the rim, he tried to scoop it with the left hand, and a foul is called. And Carl Pierre will get 2 free throws for the Minutemen when we come back.
UMass starting to drive to the basket a little bit more, finding some seams in that Western Carolina zone scheme. And the Minutemen 7 out of 8 from the foul line tonight. So good job.
Atlantic 10 Digital Network coverage being spearheaded, or at least in part, by Chris Fu. And Chris is going to be leaving us for a couple of weeks. He's done a great job for now 3 years here in the UMass video department. Chris has a good reason to be leaving us for a few weeks, Adam. He is getting married. Congratulations to Chris. And we look forward to seeing all the great pictures from the honeymoon out in Iceland. Both free throws good for Carl Pierre. Adam, this is now a 9-0 run. They extend that out 16-3. It's 37-30.
And a lot of that offense has come on drives and from the foul line. UMass has attempted 16 3-pointers out of their 25 total field goal attempts in the first half.
Carl Pierre having another nice scoring half. He's got 7. Inside, they're going to go to Amius against Baldwin, who cut him off. Pass back to the point guard on the right wing, Peterson. Baldwin switches on to Devin Peterson, who tried to cross him over, going inside, and they're going to call a hip check foul on Baldwin.
And that's his third. They're going to say Baldwin knocked Peterson off stride as Peterson was heading right down the paint. Close as to whether or not Peterson traveled or if there was contact that caused it. They'll bring Kalia Turner-Morris, and we also haven't seen Rashawn Holloway in a while either.
He's got those 2 fouls.
Yeah, so wasn't sure if Coach McCall would try to bring him back in a la Baldwin, although in this case I think it was the trade-off for getting 3 against Baldwin was pretty good because he really sparked that UMass run.
Well, you can make the argument that here in the first half it's been the backup big guys. It's called a 1-and-1 for Peterson. That was non-shooting foul, and he missed the front end short. C.J. Anderson gets the UMass rebound. You can make the argument, Adam, that Turner-Morris and Baldwin have been better than the starting bigs, both of them, Malik Hines and Rashawn Holloway. 2:45 left in the half.
Both of which have 2 fouls.
Anderson to the right corner to Pierre. A catch and shoot for 3. Just a bit strong. Hits the side of the rim right in front of the Western Carolina bench from where Carl had released that shot. Rebound Catamounts trailing 37-30. Again, it's a 9-0 UMass run. Western Carolina early was red hot. They made 9 of their first 12 field goals today. Now down to 12 for 23 shooting. Into the post, Gosselin. He knocked over the shorter man guarding him, Pipkins, and he's got his 3rd foul. That's a charge on Mark Gosselin, and a crafty defensive play by Luwan Pipkins.
The second charge of the half that Luwan Pipkins has taken, and he wasn't afraid to take on the much bigger player from France, and he was able to draw the contact. Looked like a little push at the offhand. Yep. And was able to shut off the baseline and send Gosselin to the bench with 3 fouls.
Yeah, and I say it's crafty by Luwan because, sure, if you're giving up all those inches, if he's going to throw his arm, you sell that call.
And he did a little bit.
Going to the ground. UMass ball, 2 minutes to go in the half. Anderson had it knocked away by Peterson. Right over near the sideline, Unique McLean, who came back in for UMass, saved it. He passes to Pipkins, around to Turner-Morris screen, a left wing 3, spins around and out from 22 feet. Rebound pulled down by Mike Amius for the Catamounts, trailing 37-30.
UMass has shot a lot of 3s tonight, but they've had some good looks at them that just haven't gone in.
Parks near midcourt bounces to the high post. Mike Amius back to the basket, going to hand it back to Devin Peterson. He was so hot early, was Peterson. He's in double figures. Gets a return feed from Darius Parks. Driving to his right, puts up the scoop shot, hit only backboard. Great defense by UMass. Rebound Turner-Morris in the corner. Up ahead, Pipkins to Anderson. Driving through the paint. Pass to the left corner, Pierre. A catch and shoot for 3, and it's good. Pierre makes it a 12-0 run for the Minutemen, and suddenly they've got themselves a 10-point lead. Timeout call. 12 on the clock, and they're just at 30 points. 3 points in 8 minutes. So UMass has picked up the defensive intensity, and now the offense coming along with it. Pierre, his second 3-point make, and he's got 10. Baldwin with 10. 2 men off the bench leading the way. Again, it was the UMass timeout called. Western Carolina has the ball, though. Unique McLean was pressuring Darius Parks, who lost the ball on the drive. Steal. Miller up ahead to Pipkins, to the rim. Body control as he flies in, and Pipkins banks it in. It's a 14-0 run.
Felt like he hung in the air forever there, Josh. He had a defender right in front of him and was able to get a good look off the glass and got it to drop.
Pipkins, 3rd Minuteman into double figures with 11. It's 42-30. 35 seconds left in the half. Unique McLean almost stole it again from Darius Parks, who got it back in the backcourt. Now Smith. Maurice Smith gets it over, and on the take, Devin Peterson through the lane. He got hip check, fouled, and now that's 10.5 against UMass. So 2 shots this time for Devin Peterson. Senior point guard hit by Carl Pierre with 26 seconds to go. What a turn of events.
It's good to see the Minutemen get the defensive end going. I think that's really what's helped create the offense. They've frustrated Western Carolina, and they've been able to beat them down the court and get some of those open looks by getting Western Carolina kind of running all over the place, as we would say in hockey.
Peterson makes the first free throw, so now he's got 11 points. 2 of 3 at the line. And Finally, for Coach Hunter, Larry Hunter's team had not scored a point in Adam about 5.5 minutes.
They had some tough looks. There's a lot of times they've driven to the basket this evening and didn't look like they had a plan in mind. Got to the basket in a difficult angle and weren't quite sure what to do.
It's actually over 6 minutes without a point before both those free throws go in for Devin Peterson. The lead is 10 for the Minutemen, and the shot clock is turned off. Adam Frenier will catch up with Matt McCall before he makes his way over into the locker room. UMass holding for one, leading 42-32. 13 seconds left as Lawan Pipkins dribbles right between his left and right hands out by midcourt. Peterson's letting him do so. Game clock to 7. Now he goes. He drives through the paint. Had the shot blocked by Mike Amius. Rebound Catamounts up ahead. Parks to Peterson for three. A 30-foot three, and he's fouled on it. Shot no good. And UMass hit the three-point shooter, Devin Peterson. It was C.J. Anderson who did so. And with 0.3 of a second remaining in the half. Trailing by 10, Peterson gets 3 free throws. That'll drive a head coach crazy. UMass was holding for one, but Pipkins shot it a little too early, got his shot blocked. And then Peterson racing down the court, fouled on a 3. He rolls in the first. We'll have 2 more. C.J. Anderson picked up the foul. It was his second. So Baldwin with 3. Malik Hines, Anderson, and Holloway with 2 fouls for UMass. Here's the second of 3 free throws. That's good. Peterson has a chance to make it his own 5-0 run here in the final about 30 seconds, all at the stripe. Get the Catamounts back currently within 8. And now the third free throw is up, and good. He hit all 3 of them. It's 42-35. Only 3 attempts left. UMass inbounds it, and into the backcourt. Pierre caught it as the clock